UFC 264 is just several hours away. These are my fight day final thoughts. We're also going to throw at you the Mystic Max style predictions for the main card. At the top, we got McGregor versus Poirier 3. We've talked about it for numerous weeks now. Co-main event, Wonderboy, Burns. Honestly, this pay-per-view card is stacked with high-level action. We also got like a throwback style heavyweight fight. We'll first talk about the Sugar Sean O'Malley fight, and then we'll work our way up. We'll talk potentially about some final bets to play fight day, and as well as just how I think these fights are going to go down. We saw everybody on the scales yesterday. O'Malley clearly a lot taller than Moutinho. I honestly think that Moutinho is completely outmatched here. Besides seeing him fight before, even on the scales, does not seem to be in as good of shape nearly as Sugar Sean O'Malley. Being shorter by 4 inches is going to be a substantial factor. 2-inch reach advantage in favor of O'Malley. Both guys, strikers, I would say primarily. Sean O'Malley, very competent out of both stances, and I think that really will carry him far in this fight here. I feel like Moutinho is prey in this fight. This is another showcase fight for Sean O'Malley. Moutinho is a southpaw, and granted O'Malley, as we know, he's comfortable in both stances. I do see straight shots down the line definitely landing. Seems like Moutinho is open for straight punches. Has been knocked out in the past versus a lot lesser strikers than Sean O'Malley. I don't think this fight is any bit close. I think emphatic knockout inside of 4 minutes of the first round. Sugar Sean O'Malley, potentially head kick, potentially with a straight shot. I really think it's going to be up to the Sugar Show here, how he finishes off Chris Moutinho. Definitely expect him to set up some big strikes with feints, but definitely Sean O'Malley for the victory in this first fight of the main card. Definitely one you guys have to tune into. Keep on moving up. Let's go. Irene Aldana, Yana Kunitskaya. Aldana comes in way overweight. Not a good look when you come in not in the best shape. Kunitskaya, a clinch-heavy style fighter, likes to get her opponents against the cage and kind of just hold them there. It's boring as hell to watch, no offense. I'm just going to tell it how it is. Irene Aldana on the other side, she can box. Knockout power in the hand. She's heavier, and I believe those extra 3 pounds coming in at 139.5 carries her far here. She's going to win this fight. She's also going to outmuscle Kunitskaya in the clinch, probably piece her up with the hands. I do think we're looking at unanimous decision, but I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Aldana actually get a knockout win in the second round. But I'm going to pick Aldana for the win, and I believe it will be victory by 30-27 unanimous decision over Yana Kunitskaya in this matchup. Granted, missing weight's not a good look. Definitely going to hurt her stock a bit. It is what it is in the fight game, but let's keep on moving up. Tai Tuivasa, Greg Hardy. Tai Tuivasa has a chin. You can go to his Instagram. Look, Mark Hunt's piecing him up, landing some big shots, and he doesn't wobble. And Greg Hardy, a knockout puncher. That's essentially all his style is boxing, heavy attack, does have serious power, is a menacing force at 6'5" with an 80.5-inch reach. Tai Tuivasa's no little man himself. He's 6'2", 75-inch reach, granted 5.5-inch reach advantage. I don't think Greg Hardy really controls range extremely well, though he does have some power in his straight punches, power in his hooks. He looks for the KO. He's kind of a one-round fighter. I've said this before. What has he got? 7.5 minutes in him? So a round and a half or less is Greg Hardy's show. He probably will go out there and win the first round, looking explosive as he always does. Tai Tuivasa will then take over in the second. Watch for low kicks. I think Tai Tuivasa gets him out of there. Third round knockout. I do think we can potentially see Tai get this fight to the ground, but I do think he'll hit Greg Hardy with some big punches, potentially overhands when Greg is backing up against the cage, potentially knocking him down, and then I see Tai finishing him off with ground and pound to win this fight. Tai Tuivasa for the victory in this matchup. He's going to beat Greg Hardy, slight favorite. The odds are pretty close as far as this matchup goes, and also with the Aldana one, it does make sense. Competitive matchups. Tai Tuivasa, though, I really think the superior mixed martial artist, higher level of competition throughout his career, higher level probably training partners as well. Greg Hardy, though, fun guy to watch, former professional football player turned fighter. It's a good story, but he's not going to beat Tai Tuivasa here. I see him getting stopped in that third round, and my final thought on that one is definitely a Tai Tuivasa win. Move up to the co-main event, Gilbert Trujillo Burns and Stephen Thompson. You saw them face off yesterday. You saw them both throughout the embedded series and the countdowns. Both guys have put in tremendous amount of work for this fight. Both guys really know that this is a must-win if they're looking for a title shot again in the near future. Gilbert Burns is 34. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is 38. If Wonderboy can go out there and have a very impressive performance, I think he can skyrocket his name into title contention. I think he needs a very impressive performance to get Kamaru's attention. Kamaru seems not crazy about that fight. I do think it's a tricky matchup for Kamaru, a guy that really can control range at an elite level. Striking wise, I think Wonderboy would give him an interesting test. I feel like Gilbert Burns is going to come out like a dog, though. He is very nasty with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we know Gilbert Burns to have some serious knockout power. He's going to be looking to close distance and land a lot of overhand strikes. I do think he's going to try to hurt Wonderboy, and definitely with the boxing still, I think Wonderboy will be moving constantly, staying out of range. You look, Gilbert Burns has been stopped in the past. Knockout losses, Dan Hooker and to Kamaru Usman. I've said, I think this fight probably goes the distance, but I'll be honest with you, I feel something special in the air right now. Fight day, final thought, and this is why you tune into these. I'm going Stephen Thompson, third round knockout, and I think it's going to actually be a head kick that ends up setting up the KO here. So I'm riding Wonderboy for the victory. KO, he's going to beat Gilbert Burns. My old favorite at minus 160, Gilbert Burns on the other side, like the plus 135. We'll talk a little bit more about the bets towards the end of this video. Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. Main event. Okay, this is a fight day final thought exclusive. Conor McGregor is coming out probably in the orthodox stance. You saw the weigh-in yesterday? What stance was he in? He was in the orthodox stance. I feel like that is the way he's thinking he's going to avoid these calf kicks. That will also open up straight rights on Dustin Poirier's chin. Conor McGregor, dynamite in both hands. I think he's going to look for the knockout for sure. I think he's coming out fast. I said second round KO, but the more I think about it, talk to my brother about it. If you guys watch the fight breakdown for this one, he said first round KO. The more the week goes on, I'm thinking under 4 minutes, first round knockout, Conor McGregor. He's going to sleep Dustin Poirier with a straight punch, and I think he's going to end that trilogy on top and then go on to fight Oliveira. Dustin Poirier, I mean, the guy's a junkyard dog. Both guys, absolute savages. The highest level of lightweight action. In my opinion, the uncrowned champ Dustin Poirier takes on the superstar, the face of the UFC in Conor McGregor. I am going to ride McGregor for the KO win. He beats Dustin Poirier, wins the trilogy, and then he has an epic super fight with Charles Oliveira, Brazil versus Ireland, and you know Conor McGregor is going to sell the hell out of that fight because he knows how to get under the skin of the Brazilian fighters. Even if they don't speak the same language, I think that Conor is definitely going to get in the head of Charles Oliveira. And I see him here knocking out Dustin Poirier in 4 minutes. He's going to come out orthodox. He's going to land straight punches, avoid all the kicks, and he's going to put on a showcase fight and earn himself that title shot. And honestly, huge moment for his career, securing the trilogy against Dustin. 4 minutes or less KO win for an orthodox Conor McGregor in this fight with a victory over Dustin Poirier. Overall, sweet main card. Don't want to go too crazy about the undercard. You know, you guys kind of know my picks. If you haven't found my channel before until this, just go back to a couple recent videos. I give you the full card predictions. The Ryan Hall Ilya Topuria fight, one that I'm super pumped for. I got Topuria in that one. I'm also really excited to see Carlos Condit and Max Griffin picking the dog. Carlos Condit and Pereira and Nico Price should be dynamite fireworks. Both guys looked incredible on the scales, but especially Nico Price. But we're still riding Pereira to win that fight. I'm feeling like we might see a third round KO from Michel Pereira there. I think Condit decision. I think Topuria wins by second round knockout. I'll just give you the Mystic Mac picks for every fight on the card, but I'm not going to break them down in detail. If you want that, go back to the recent videos on the channel. Amadovsky 30-27 win over Ye Zhang-Hu. Zalgas Zumagaz boring grappling heavy decision over Jerome Rivera 30-27 Zumagov. Omar Akhmedov, Brad Tavares. I'm taking Tavares 29-28 decision. Jennifer Maia, Jessica I. I'm going Maia 30-27 unanimous decision. Driskas Duplessis, Trevin Giles. I'm riding Trevin Giles 29-28 decision in this matchup. Overall, sweet card, some Mystic Mac picks for you, and now we need some Mystic bets. I want to give you guys some potential cashers. We'll go to best fight odds, and talk about some of the props. Granted, I'm also going to open up fightodds.io. I think we need both up. I might just use fightodds.io. You know what? I think that I got to give fightodds.io the love here. All right, Bet Online. When I see Bet Online, I'm interested because Bet Online is extremely deep. It tells you everything you need. For the Sean O'Malley, Chris Mutino fight, the Mystic Mac bet, the wildest bet would really be if you rock with O'Malley If you can find KO TKO at plus 160, on my bookie it's saying plus 160. You might want to go check that out. I also think O'Malley wins the fight in a round. O'Malley wins in the first round, plus 600. O'Malley wins by KO TKO in the first round. Where is that? Wins by O'Malley wins in round 1 by KO TKO. O'Malley wins in round 1. Wow, it's plus 110 there, plus 115. Not great odds for that. If you can find the plus money of a straight KO TKO O'Malley bet, that's the one to place. The other ones just don't seem all that valuable. I don't see Moutinho having a chance in hell here. And if I'm wrong, I'll accept being wrong, but it's not going to be wrong. Sean O'Malley's going to be winning by knockout, and we'll be talking about that later on tonight when we do the post-fight show. Irene Aldana, Yana Kunitskaya. Aldana decision. I don't think it's going to be the most fun fight to watch. Plus 180. If you can find the plus 160, plus 180 tag, I think bet down Aldana by decision. That's how I see her winning the fight. She's going to get a victory here over Yana Kunitskaya. I'm not seeing much of potential for upset for Kunitskaya, especially with Aldana coming in as heavy as she did. It's going to be an advantage in the clinch situations. Not a ton to talk about there. Tai Tuivasa, Greg Hardy. I like Tuivasa third round knockout. I've said this before, so the Mystic Mac bet would be the third round KO. Let's see where we can find it. Tai Tuivasa wins by KO TKO in round 3. You're looking at plus 1,000, plus 1,300. Potential bet for you there if you're looking to feel and be like a true Mystic Mac. Tai Tuivasa to win by KO, though, is still plus 150, plus 160. Not bad money if you are looking to just throw down on that. Do you want to bet Greg Hardy by KO? What's it sitting at? Hardy KO is sitting at plus 325. If you are going to bet Hardy KO, it's probably in the first round, right? So you go Hardy wins by KO TKO in round number 1, plus 600. Not terrible, but I'm picking Tai Tuivasa, and I'd rather bet Tuivasa by KO straight or him in the third round than betting Greg Hardy, unless you're looking for the Hail Mary style bet to really cash big. That would be the Greg Hardy play. But let's talk about the co-main event bets here. All right. Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson. I'm riding Stephen, but I do think we need to talk about some props for Burns too. Burns to win the fight inside the distance is sitting at plus 260. Not terrible. Burns by KO TKO, you can find it at plus 550. That's very good value. Thompson by KO TKO is plus 300. I like that value a lot here. Burns by submission, unlikely, but it could happen. Plus 500. Definitely some solid like prop bets you can make a lot of money on. Thompson, if he were to win by a decision, Thompson by a decision is plus 165. He's expected to win a decision more so than anything else. Thompson by KO TKO in the third round, plus 1,400. That would be some serious money thrown back at you. Definitely some valuable bets. If I had to pick one, I'd probably just lean you to either Thompson, the straight bet, maybe the Thompson third round KO, or just the Thompson KO bet in general, or even the Thompson decision bet. And if you're looking for a long shot, I think Burns potentially by a knockout, because I don't really see this fight going to the ground, though Burns is nasty with his jiu-jitsu. Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, main event of the evening, the biggest fight on the card, one of the biggest fights in combat sports, maybe ever. It's a Conor McGregor fight. Every one of his fights are humongous. You look at the matchup, as I said, I'm going with McGregor. I think he wins. He comes out unorthodox. I don't think this fight goes past probably that second round at the most. I really see this as 2 rounds or less. As I said, I'm leaning that first round knockout, though, for Conor McGregor. McGregor KO TKO plus 180. Very good value there. McGregor to win the fight. Let's check this out. McGregor to win the fight by a knockout in the first round, plus 450. Okay, not a terrible bet. Poirier first round is plus 850. Wow, a lot higher price tag. It's not expected that he does that. McGregor to win in the second round, plus 660, plus 625. I like just the McGregor straight KO bet, unless you're trying to Mystic Mac it. You want to Mystic Mac it, put it in the first round. I think that's pretty decent value, or maybe in the second round. But you really got to be intelligent with those type of prop bets that are extremely risky, because it's at the end of the day, one extra minute, and then next thing you know, the fight is in the next round and you lose the prop bet. So better off just a knockout bet. We're going with Conor. He's going to win. If Dustin were to win, I do think it's by knockout. Could he win a decision? Sure. Could we be looking at 5 rounds? Maybe. I think it's unlikely. I think McGregor sleeps Dustin Poirier in this fight. And the Mystic Mac is back. Overall, we're in store for a pretty fun card. I cannot wait to see the action. Most exciting fight for me is definitely the Dustin Poirier fight. Definitely the Tai Tuivasa fight and Gilbert Burns fight has a lot of intrigue. Sean O'Malley showcase fight on the undercard. I think I'm excited for all 3 of these for sure. I mean, I'm excited for every one of them, but like super pumped for these three. And I guess the early prelims, not the greatest, but should be potential entertainment in at least the Amadovsky and Jennifer Maia fight. I would hope. I'm really hoping so. Good card. Should be a lot of fun. The fight day final thoughts. We've seen everything. These are the final predictions with just hours to go before the card. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get a good amount of likes on this video. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We release full card predictions way before the events. I'll have the full card predictions dropping for next week's UFC on Sunday. Also, Bellator predictions will be coming out probably on Monday. Lots of exciting action in store this week for mixed martial arts with the McGregor fight. And then next week, get right back to it. You know how we do it. It's back to back to back to back. We're always posting content. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Enjoy the fights, everybody. And everybody drink responsibly.